Hey everybody, good evening. It's Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich here. Doing a quick little update on our winter weather. We had quite the day. Started with heavy sleet, snow, and freezing rain for a lot of locations. Changed to sleet and freezing rain in others. Winter rain briefly, and now tonight it has gone back to snow. In fact, we've got light snow moving in across the entire area. So it is starting to look like a winter wonderland out there as the light snow moves in. In fact, if you look at the first warned Doppler radar, we can show you some of that snowfall out there, which is beginning to move in across the area. Light snow is kind of spreading in from southwest to northeast. Temperatures are cooling off right now. There's no freezing rain or sleet likely in this setup, but what we're probably going to see is a little bit of snow continuing to fall across the area. So currently we've got 31 degrees right now in Charlotte, 32 down in Rock Hill, 32 in Chester. And again, light snow continuing to fall across the area. This is the upper low, which is currently moving through. So on first warned Doppler radar, you see that little swirl, which is moving through parts of the upstate of South Carolina. That's basically the upper low, which is rotating through the area. And we're starting to see some light, fluffy snow. In fact, on my drive home, if you saw my Facebook Live, we saw some really big snowflakes moving across the area, and that fluffy snow kind of drifting through the area. And that fluffy snow is now pushing off to the north and east as temperatures fall tonight. So the concern overnight tonight is going to be eventually we're going to see the light snow could taper off, but the temperatures are continuing to tumble. In fact, temperatures right now across the area are falling back into the upper 20s to about 30 degrees. So currently, I don't know about Curtis, if you could pop up the radar there so we could see it. We've got some lower 30s through York County, areas of Chester County, then back towards the west. Those low 30s aren't the big deal. We get into the upper 20s, that's going to pose some issues as we move through the next couple of hours. So as the upper low moves away, colder air will spill in on the backside, and the temperature overnight is going to fall back down into, we should hopefully see, it wasn't working there real quickly. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll share my screen here real quickly, and I'll show you what's going on. I think that might be easier. So we'll pop it up here. There we go. So there's a look. There we go. You can see the radar here, and I'll zoom in real carefully. And you can see the light snow has kind of moved into parts of Mecklenburg County, York County, down to Chester County, over towards Cherokee County. Real light snow, and it may be hard to see, but those temperatures are below freezing in many locations. What I can often do is show you the surface obs, and you can see everywhere you see the snowflake, those are airports or official reporting stations reporting snow right now. Look at this big low here. I'm going to actually rotate it and let it kind of spin here a couple times, but you can see the upper level feature and all of those surface snow reports. So oftentimes people will look at the radar and say, it doesn't look like there's any more snow on the way. And I always say, look at the surface and see what's actually hitting the ground, because the radar can only detect so many things. So there it is as it kind of loads. You see it rotating through, and look at that. That little appendage there is actually the upper low, which is pushing off towards the east. So it is actually going to move through in the next couple of hours. Now, the concern overnight is that we will see temperatures fall pretty quickly. And I'm going to stop the loop here and just kind of show you the temperatures. And I'll zoom in closely. So look at some of these temperatures. We got 28 already in Salisbury, 32 in Albemarle, 32 in Wadesboro. So everybody's dropping below freezing. So no matter what you saw today, we are going to see a refreeze tonight. So Courtney, how the road's going to be in the morning? They're going to be horrible. That's the only way I can tell you. We are going to see a thick refreeze tonight. Everything that's wet is going to refreeze overnight into tomorrow morning. So with that refreeze, there will be widespread ice. But the good news is once we get to tomorrow morning, about 11 maybe, we should jump slightly above freezing. And that will allow for temperatures probably briefly to get back above freezing for 5, 6, 7 hours. And that's going to allow for a lot of melting. And with the sun out tomorrow, that should allow for us to start to see some melting going on as well. And that should melt out some of the snow overall. No power outages expected. The freezing rain threat's gone. That left this morning. The freezing rain was off towards the southeast, and that kind of missed us completely. So that's going to push off towards the south and east, and that's going to kind of stay away from us. So the freezing rain threat is gone. So no more risk of icing at all. Oh, the volume is going up and down. Okay, hopefully the audio is a little better now. Is there still snow in Salisbury? Yes, snow is on the way for the entire area. So as you can see on the map, I can't really draw on this, but this whole area of snow is moving to the northeast. So everybody in central and western North Carolina is going to see snow overnight, probably through about 11 o'clock to midnight. So we are going to see a refreeze, which is going to cause a huge issue. And that's going to cause some icy conditions in the morning. Fort Mill, it's snowing right now. Volume issues. We're seeing some volume. Audio is coming in and out. Oh, sorry, guys. No problem. What's going on with the audio? Let me check something real quick. Let me see if the audio. Sometimes the audio will go in and out if my auto noise cancellation goes down. So let me look at that real quickly as I'm talking to you. Again, the big concern overnight for a lot of people is going to be that risk for the refreeze. I was driving home and saw a bunch of slushy spots that were pretty thick to get through. And then you run into the fact that, that stuff's all going to refreeze. Weddington, Western Union County, everyone's going to see snow overnight. Everybody's going to see snow in the next 4 hours. No matter who or where you live, you're going to see snow, and it's all going to refreeze. So that goes for every town. Before you even ask, any town is going to see a refreeze. So there's really no question about that. So the refreeze happens overnight. It's tomorrow morning. And again, the light snow is going to be between now and probably about midnight or so. So just be prepared that that's going to be what we're going to see through the next couple of hours. I'm not actually seeing any issues with the audio. Must be on the stream that it's going through. So light snow through the next few hours. I'll loop this and show you kind of how this is working. There's the light snow kind of rotating through the area, and we'll see the refreeze as we go into the overnight hours. So people already asking, I'm looking at the questions here on the side here. So what about, will Tuesday morning be better? It'll still, anything that melts tomorrow is going to refreeze. Every night this week will drop below freezing. So it's a matter of trying to get that water and ice and snow to be completely gone. So if there's moisture, it's going to refreeze. Probably not as bad on the main roads. In fact, I drove home tonight. The main roads were much better than the secondary roads. And that's the way it's going to go. The interstates, the main roads, probably going to be fine tomorrow and maybe even in the morning. But every day we go, we'll start to see more of the side streets get cleared out as we go through time. Would Tuesday morning be better? Yeah, I think what's happening with the audio, it seems to be going in and out for some weird reason. I'm going to actually take a look at that. I've had this happen once before, because what happens is the audio, if I turn my head away, it's trying to pick up and the audio goes in and out. So I'll take a look at that real quickly. Let me look at the settings. Go to the audio. Doesn't seem to be. We're going to noise cancellation and stuff, which sometimes does that. So that should sound a little bit better. Hopefully get that out of there. Thoughts about the upcoming Friday? Really not much right now. It's not really a Friday thing. It's sometime over the weekend. The pattern could be kind of interesting. So it's something we're going to keep an eye on. The next week and a half, the pattern is very active. We could see potentially more winter weather, but in this time frame, you're 5 to 7 days away. We've got a long ways to kind of keep an eye on it. But the two areas and time frames we're watching this weekend, Friday to Sunday, possibly another chance, and then the middle of next week. So that's kind of what we're thinking about right now, is those two areas that we could see some more wintry weather. That snow that's moving through tonight is really fluffy, and that fluffy snow will be moving through and actually kind of be gone, I think, by about midnight or so. And eventually, as that pushes out, that will be the last of it as it moves through. Here's the wider view of this storm, just so you can see it moving up the East Coast. I'm actually going to stop this real quickly and push it up, and you can see how big this storm system is. So it's affecting a big part of the Northeast, and this is the warm sector right here. This area right here, this is the warm sector that caused all of the freezing rain and sleet earlier. That's pushing away, and that's long gone. So as that pushes out, that's going to be a non-issue for most of us. But as we go into tomorrow, we should start to see that refreeze in the morning, but eventually we'll see some thawing going on in the afternoon. Nothing is going to fall Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's all about a refreeze. So this is it. Once this is out of here tonight, nothing else falls from the sky. You just got to worry about refreezes every morning. So anything wet that is going to refreeze. As far as travel is concerned, I can tell you the side roads, the neighborhood roads, the entrance and exit ramps to most interstates and roads are going to be pretty ice covered. Tomorrow's high is 38. So it'll take till about 11 a.m. for us to get up above freezing. So in many locations, again, it'll be icy till about noon tomorrow. There'll be a lot of melting. Like we saw this afternoon, we briefly got into the low 30s with rain, and that actually, it'll be melting. I can't say it's totally safe to travel. It just depends on, I mean, I drove today, so but you have to be very cautious. I think travel will be fine on the main roads. The interstates are almost completely cleared. The main roads are completely cleared. It's the side roads you have to worry about. And just, check ahead. Just, ask your neighbors what it's like out there. In many locations during the afternoon tomorrow should be fine. It's just going to be slushy. It's going to be above freezing. So anytime the sun is up and it's above freezing, usually you're not going to have any issues. The problems are at night when it's below freezing. And you start to see temperatures drop in a refreeze. So that's the only time you really got to worry about anything. Lots of snow falling in locations right now. It's really light. I'll show you again. I'll turn this on. This is actually all the places reporting snow. So see the snowflakes? All of those are places that are reporting the snowflakes right now. And you can see back towards Asheville. Asheville, interestingly enough, had a record snowfall today of 10 inches. Broke their old daily snowfall record. Again, and that was for January 16th. So these are daily records. And Greenville set a daily snowfall record for January 16th. So a couple areas to the west got some really heavy snowfall across the area. So again, this little burst of snow, which you see over us right now, that is probably going to be gone, I think, by 10 or 11, just looking at the short range guidance. It looks like it'll be out of here pretty quickly. And then we'll start focusing on the weekend. So most of the questions I'm seeing in the chat here are about travel, and really it's just going to vary by your abilities and which roads you go onto. Because I think in most areas, if you're on the main roads, you're probably going to be fine. Probably the toughest part about driving is going to be getting out of your driveway in your neighborhood. Once you do that, you should be fine. How much more snow? Yeah, probably an inch, or maybe an inch or two at the most out of this fluffy stuff. It is very fluffy, so it can stack up pretty well. So I wouldn't be surprised to see it fluff up a little bit. But that's certainly a possibility that we could see it maybe get a little fluffier out there throughout the evening. I'm actually going to see if I can't share this other screen here real quick. So I'm going to show you the temperature forecast tomorrow. Might be real easy to do this instead. I'll show you a Futurecast if I can. Oops, wrong. Let's try this. I don't know if you guys can see that. You saw my background for a second. So what I'm going to try to do is share a different screen here real quick. Let's see if I can move this out of the way. There we go. Try to share this screen. There we go. We'll share this one. Okay, so this is, I'm going to make this big so we can. So you can see our Futurecast right there. So you see the 29 by 8 o'clock. We'll go through time. And I'll play this out. And you can see the overnight temperatures. That snow moves through fairly quickly and gets off to the east. And you see the temperatures. Now, I'm looking at the snow as one thing. The snow is great, right? That snow is not going to be the problem. Those temperatures are the issue. You see how the temperatures are in the low to mid 20s in many locations. So everything that's wet out there is going to refreeze completely as it pushes off to the east. The snow exits and then the freeze is on. So it's all about the refreeze, in my opinion. So I saw huge puddles and wet spots all over. By tomorrow morning, we're down 28, 29 degrees. That's going to be really slick in a lot of spots tomorrow. And as we go through the morning hours, the sun comes up. Some scattered snow showers continue in the mountains because of that northwest flow. That will continue for a while. And then into the afternoon. So when do we get above freezing? That's the key part tomorrow. Everyone's asking about travel. It's about when is the sun up and when we're going to see temperatures going this way. Pushing off to the east. So about 12:30, it's 35 degrees or so. So it's in the mid 30s. For many areas by about noon to 12, and that's going to cause everything to melt, and we should see pretty good conditions then. And I'll do an hour by hour here tonight just to show you how that temperature falls back. You see how the snow continues to about 11, and then it tapers off, and then we clear out, and we see those temperatures falling all the way back down into the mid 20s. So that's, to me, that's really the story tonight, is the falling temperatures and that refreeze. Now, if you look long range, I'll show you the Futurecast, our map. You can see that storm moves away. High pressure builds in behind it. That high pressure system builds in across the southeast, gives us some cold mornings, some beautiful afternoons. And then our next system is more of a rainmaker for Thursday. That's the system back here to the west. That system is going to usher in some more cold air going into the weekend, and then that's going to kind of set the stage for potentially another storm this weekend. We'll have some cold air to deal with. So that's what we're watching for the weekend. The setup is still kind of uncertain, but it's more of a pattern recognition thing. And if you follow me, one of the things I often talk about is pattern recognition in the long range. That's really the only way you can kind of look at these in the long range. Is the pattern favorable? As you get closer, you start saying, is it trending up or down? Is it trending towards snow, sleet, ice, or a mix? And then 1 to 3 days out, you get into kind of, here are the totals and timing. So that's kind of the time frame for what's heading our way for the upcoming weekend and then into next week. Of course, we will have more coming up tonight after the football game. We've got Sunday Night Football. We'll have complete coverage on this. Be safe out there, everybody. I know a lot of the questions are about traveling and such across the area. So if you have to travel, I would highly recommend don't if you don't have to. If you do have to travel, wait till after the sun is up for a while and temperatures get above freezing tomorrow, and the road should be much better. After dark and before sunrise is going to be some of the worst stuff you got to watch out for. So be careful out there, everybody. Have a great night, and I will see you tonight at 11.